How are
How's it
you?
going? I'm fine, man. How's everything?
Great. Good. How are
Mm,
you? How's the family doing?
everybody is fine. I think I joined in a bit late, but then it's all good.
We're patient. You're a superstar. We can wait on you. It's fine.
No problems.
Thank you. Thank you
No
so much for
problems.
joining us. I know you've
No
been busy.
problems.
You've probably been in the studio working,
Yeah. I think I left my
right?
phone up. I left my phone up somewhere, and I just rushed to go pick it up. I was actually in a studio space, but I have to, you
That's
know.
fine. That's absolutely fine. So, you're self-isolating, of course, and you were like way before. You had traveled somewhere, right? And you were
Yeah.
self-isolating for some time.
I think we're in April, so 2 months ago it was somewhere from the 23rd of February. I was not around. You know,
Yeah.
went on tour to continue to do the works, and then we realized the news has been, this corona thing has been from like November, but we thought
Yes.
it was only brewing in China and the rest. So I think it was just getting worse, and we caught up with it somewhere during the American tour, and we had to postpone everything, and
Right.
and which is right, which is
Of
definitely right,
course.
you know, so that we can all pray that we'll go over this and then get back to life.
Life as we know it,
I mean, get
yes.
back to regular life. If I
Of
say life,
course,
I don't
right?
mean we're
Not
all
this
there.
new stuff that we're going through, of course not. But I'm glad you're safe. I'm glad you put your fans first as well, because that's what you're known for,
Yeah, man. Health is wealth. So we
Oh,
need to be
yeah,
healthy. We need to make sure that we're all, you know.
for sure, for sure. Your fans are loving you. But let's talk about the music. So, Anloga Junction, I'm pronouncing it correctly,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So you talked a bit about the journey that you've been through, the journey you've been through in Ghana,
hmm
and as you've traveled as well, your experiences that you've had. It's been branded the album of the year. Did you know that?
it should be more than that though, because
Oh, for
every time
real?
I'm not, and I mean, just being very optimistic, but
Yeah.
honestly speaking, everything we drop is well calculated, is well fixated. So you should
Yes,
understand that you can only go for the best of the best. So
of course.
it
It
is.
will be,
This is the
yeah,
album of the year, man.
lovely. Thank you for confirming. And it will be released on the 24th of April, right?
Exactly. It's gonna come live. It's gonna be activated on that day. But it's up for pre-order already. A lot of things are going on with it already. We
Yes.
just dropped one new single, Understand, featuring
Yes,
Alakai Hailey
correct.
from the UK,
I've just been playing that.
badass artist,
Hmm.
and you can only expect the best, man,
Of
from us on
course.
this album. Yeah.
Would you say that it's your best body of work so far? Like you put your heart and your soul and your all into it?
I see. I wouldn't start saying that, because that would just be like a normal kind of way of answering or expressing one's creativity. I'm on a journey with creativity.
Wonderful.
So the thing is that every artwork, every art, or every
Hmm.
piece, or every science, every creative science that have been put out through me, is not comparable to the other. For the fact of consumption and taste and stuff, people are
Yeah,
definitely, even I do so sometimes. But when we take it down to the creativity alone, there's no comparison when it comes to being creative or putting out musical material, because
hmm,
it will always be different from one song to the other, even if it is the
of course.
same concept. You know what I mean? So,
True.
my best body of work is always yet to come. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? But I definitely appreciate what I'm putting out now. You know what I mean? So,
I love that. Yeah.
it's, you know what I
That's a
mean?
perfect response.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. Now,
Yeah,
you say that the Angola Junction album is about your influences from Africa and across the globe, right?
exactly.
Are there
Yeah.
any specific experiences you recall that brought you to that destination of creating that album?
Yeah, thank you very much. Sonic experience is literally, because
Mm-hmm.
I would say sonic experience, because if it
Yeah.
comes to the physical experience, we've been around this for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so it's the sonic experience, the sound, the change. It's not the change, the appreciation of the sound more and more.
Mm-hmm.
And as in, we all know that in 2000 and last year, which is 2019, literally
Yeah.
saw the highest of Afrobeat, and it's going to continue to be growing. You know, So as time and as time and tide comes along, we realize, and get more. We get to teach ourselves. Me personally, the sound, like they say, music is dynamic. Sounds do, and African sound have been appreciated a lot more within
Yes.
these times.
Mm-hmm.
But you realize that it is also with the influence of the West, whatever it has always been. So that's how come I put together this album. When you take a song like Good Morning, it really explains that style, the vibe. So because I'm dealing with the vibes, the mood, the lyrics, the melodies, everything everything sounds fresh,
Yes.
off the combination of such and such. So if the whole album goes active,
Mm-hmm.
then people would understand the levels. But if you take the first 3 songs that I've already released, you can realize that it is not similar. It's fresh. It might not be
Yes.
some things that you would easily hear Stonebwoy on, although they know they know Stonebwoy is versatile. They know
Mm-hmm.
Stonebwoy is really, but it's still like, yo, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Of course.
And
Of
even the
course.
So Bolo song that I dropped that
Yes.
prelude the album, you
Mm-hmm.
find out the difference in that. So this time I'm just like, Stonebwoy is just like full gear, like full flight, full gear with creativity and full gear. No, that's it.
We can tell and we appreciate it as well. We appreciate you putting all of your effort into your music. So, you mentioned a few days ago that you were going to release a song that would be relatable to the UK market and, of course, everyone else across the globe. Were you talking about Understand?
That's what it is.
Yeah. Because it
Yeah,
was it was recorded or it was shot in London, right?
it was by
Yeah, I can tell.
Papworth. Yeah, Jay
Okay.
Papworth
Oh,
shot that.
by Jay. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Okay.
And it
So,
was
yeah.
I think co-directed, or they have their terms by one another. So what's his name? Another great guy. When I find it before
It
it
will come
drops,
to you.
I need to give credit to who's due. You feel me?
Of
So
course, of
that's why
course.
I just want to try to remember the name. So big up yourself. I will work on that video.
Yes, it
And it
featured
was
Alakai.
right in the midst of when everything was actually happening. So I had to film my
Wow.
part and then leave the UK and then have them film the rest as well. And by the time they filmed the story bits, into the
Mm-hmm.
video, which is the girl and the stuff, I love to put some amount of morality to my products. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like the standards of the moral standards have to be PG. Yeah, I mean, and the
Of
song is
course.
very sweet. And I
Yeah,
was just
it
trying to
is.
do something really nice. A sweet song, sweet melody, dancehall approach with Afrobeat feeling as well, somewhat. That's why I came in with the pidgin style. Because the beat is more R&B and dancehall-ish. But
Yeah,
then my style is what is representing the Africa.
of
So
course.
that's why I tone down. You can hear Philly, Philly, you go see, Philly, Philly. That's straight Afro style.
Mm-hmm.
So that tells you the combination that I've been speaking about. So you find
Of
that
course.
either by the lyric or by the melody. Either ways, it's not only the beat that is going to prove the Africanness, whatever. No, it's a
Mm-hmm.
whole, it's a body. I could even speak one line of local in there, and that is the representation of the African part.
Yeah.
You know, yeah,
Good
which
evening,
is
Gramps Morgan. So
yeah,
everyone's
man,
loving you right
yeah,
now.
man, big up that, yeah,
And you featured Alakai Harley as well, who has an incredible voice.
exactly.
Yeah.
Alaka is super talented. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, allow me to use the F word. They say some people fuck with
Yeah.
people who are popular, but I fuck with people who are solid.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when solid people become popular, then we're gonna grow a
Of course.
stronger strain of artists.
Mm-hmm.
Because in these days we find out that there is a lot, because of commercial purposes. So many of us are like, have to be forced to dilute the
Yes.
levels and
Mm-hmm.
are gearing towards one way, but we need to also put in some underground. We need to also put in some, I mean, if I say underground, I mean we need to bring out something raw, something fresh, every
I
time.
agree.
So for me, if you check my history, I've always loved to work with people who are solid. I don't care about the names, man. I don't.
But
I
that's
don't care about the
important.
names.
There are talented people all over, And some people who don't have a name don't always have the opportunity to
Yes.
collaborate with great artists like yourself. So that's amazing
Yeah.
on your part.
And you can find the other day, I was just randomly on Instagram, and I randomly ran into one of the guys, because you know when you go on Instagram you can find that part that is just there, you could just come through. How do they call that one?
Yes. Yeah.
So I found somebody's song on there, and I had to message them like, yo, give me a verse on this song. And the person was like, are you kidding me? Like, yo, I'm like, because me, I like the music. When I like the music, trust me, and I find time, I'll surprise you. I'll put something on it. That's how I roll.
That's a real blessing.
That's
You're
how
amazing
I move.
for that.
That's how I move, man.
Tell me, what is your favorite song on that album? Now, I know it's going to be difficult to pick, but tell us, which one do you feel like you put your whole heart into? You put your everything into all your music, but maybe one of them really took a lot out of you?
The thing is that, John, it's just like you having million kids, which are the songs. And like it, and literally life is not a composition of one factor. So it's a combination of everything. So it's just like me saying I love food over everything else. I love food, I love sneakers, I love cars, I love houses. So if you put me in a question like that, then that means I'm gonna choose like I love food, and I just leave the rest behind. So
I get what you mean. You answered that really well.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have had this issue for years, right? And maybe it's not an issue to you at all, but I hear the term Afro dancehall being thrown around a lot. Should that genre of music actually exist, or should it just be dancehall music and the artist comes from Africa? Why does there have to be a completely separate genre? Because dancehall is dancehall.
You just answered it already. Hey, nobody's trying to separate the music as far as I'm concerned. We're only trying to identify, which is very important, you understand? Because identity is key. You have a face, I have a face. Everybody has a name to the songs that they put out there. And due to the influence, however. So we are from Africa. Dancehall will always be dancehall. Dancehall is a surname. The first name doesn't matter.
Okay.
The first name probably just shows an influence or where you're from or whatever. But I think the surname, if Grams Morgan is there, is tuning, he can they are the founding fathers of what I'm talking about. So I'm only honored to have learned from people like them. Dancehall is dancehall. I'm from Africa. Definitely, I'm somewhat fluent in patois somehow. I mean, more than the regular. But then I can switch and do other things and show my true roots, you know what I mean?
Of course.
Not to discriminate, but you can get what I'm trying to talk about. So that's where I, being one of the people who made that Afro dancehall word that has ever been, and I'll take that credit hands down. Stonebwoy did that. If Stonebwoy was not sitting right in this space, we should give credits to that Stonebwoy still, because, you know, from all 2008, I've been trying to, after being inspired by great African artists as well, and my predecessors as well. No disrespect.
No,
I termed like Afro dancehall. This is Africa. This is from Africa, and that's the dancehall. So it's just an identity, you know. And the Afro is just the black. It's just us, you know. It's just dancehall made in Africa. Or dancehall, African dancehall with a touch. I mean, you get what I'm saying. So
I do.
We're not trying to. If it's just the identity. Dancehall is dancehall as far as I'm concerned. It's just the identity. And guess what? This same dancehall goes way, way back and still finds its root in the soils of Africa. So
you got that right.
Literally, man, it's just an identity.
I always hear that the origins of all music is Africa, like all music right back to Africa. So
I'll take it.
I take it too.
Because everything else comes out of black, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, I know you've got a number of artists that you've collaborated with on your album, right? But I want to know are collaborations an essential part of an artist's journey? Can an artist be successful without them?
Yo, this is a good question. Collaboration is key. You know, because the word collaboration on its own, it's like your strength and my strength, and we create something beautiful. That's the basis of it. But you also have to have an individual strength.
Yes.
Which is most important, because if you don't have that individual strength, I think it is not. You can't be able to add up to somebody else who has the strength.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But nonetheless, we also have to be able to strengthen each other.
Yes.
Because
Absolutely.
one teach one.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm trying to say is that I'm not waiting on a big artist, like for instance, with the big names.
Yeah.
You know, I have to push up as
Mm-hmm.
an upcoming, as an underground. I have to make sure when that big name hears me, they would feel like adding a strength to my strength to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so this is
I
what
hear
I
that.
think about collaboration. This is the basics. This is what I really think about collaboration. That's it. So it's not a thing that you can we can't do without. We can do
Yeah.
without collaboration, irrespective,
Mm-hmm.
because it literally starts with us. I, as an individual artist, have to make sure that you're strong enough. You know,
Yeah.
can you hear me? Yeah, I have to make sure that if a Grams Morgan hears me out, they're gonna want to help with the strength to grow, owing to the fact that they are predecessors. If a Billy Man hears me out, if a Sean Paul hears me out, if a Sizzler, if a Kipleton, they have to know that you're worth the collab. You
Okay.
know, so this is what I think about collaboration.
I hear that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.